our channel, guys.
I hope you had a wonderful day.
So, in today's video, we are going to be doing a story time. So this is actually going to be our first story time on this video. So this should be
middle school edition.
Oh yeah, what kind of story should we tell? And we just thought, like, let's bring it back to the past.
Where it all began.
Yeah, where this began. So we decided to tell some of our stories that happened either in elementary school or middle school. So,
and excuse the look, I just came from the water park.
Oh yeah. Let's get started. I'm actually going to start this off because this happened way before Crystal even came to the school. So, oh, and just to let you know, if we decide to talk about any teachers or certain students, we're not going to mention any names.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're not going to do that.
Yeah,
out of respect for them.
Like, unless it's one of our friends that's in the story, then we're going to say their name. Like, they obviously know that they're going to be mentioned in this video. So, but, you know, if it's talking about other students or teachers, you know, we just don't feel like mentioning the names. So, yes, this story takes place, I think, like, back, like, in 4th or 5th grade. I was about 10.
She was a nugget.
So, it was about lunchtime, and I'm sitting at a table with people, and I see my friend Michelle. What's up, Michelle? Sitting at their table, and I was like, oh, you know, I'm hungry for a little bit of snack. Maybe, you know, she can let me borrow some money so I can get some cookies from the vending machine. So I go over to her, and I'm like, Michelle, is it okay if I borrow 50 cents to get a bag of cookies? And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Here's $1. Also get me a bag of cookies. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. So she lends me the $1. I walk to the
I'm sorry, because I know this story, so it just makes me laugh every single time.
I walk to the vending machine and I ordered, I get 2 cookies and they fall out.
That's how you do it?
Yeah, I get 2 cookies and they fall out and I grab it, so I walk over, I give it to her and I was like, thanks, Michelle, and she's like, yeah, no problem. And then I just walk over to mine. So there was this teacher. There was this teacher in our school.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm just gonna call her Mrs. T. So she was one of the scary teachers in that school. So everyone
didn't like me.
So everyone kind of feared her. So she was in charge of looking after the students for that lunch period. And she was just watching this whole thing go down, you know, me asking Michelle money, me going to the vending machine, me getting myself a pack of cookies and getting Michelle cookies. So when I'm sitting down, she stomps over and she's like,
what do you think you're doing?
And I was like, huh? She's like,
you took money from her.
And I'm just like, I couldn't talk because I was just terrified. 10-year-old Gabby's like, ooh.
Like, does she not know what borrowing is?
So, you know, Michelle was just being a good friend and lending me 50 cents to go get a bag of cookies. And here's this teacher yelling at me, and I'm just terrified. And she's like,
you know what, tomorrow you're gonna bring 50 cents and you're gonna give it back to her.
Which was the original plan, but okay.
And I was like, okay. And she just stomps back over to her spot where she was standing, and I'm crying. I'm just looking down at the cookies. I'm like, I don't even want these anymore. But you know what? Let me just eat them. So usually what happened after we ate lunch is we would go for recess in the L yard. That's what we would call the yard that they would bring us to. And by the time I got out, I just remember everyone getting mad at Michelle. Like, everyone in our grade getting mad at Michelle. Like,
Michelle, what did you do to make Gabby get yelled at?
And she's like,
I didn't do anything.
And I was like, guys, don't blame Michelle. This is what happened. And I was just telling them, you know, I borrowed money and she thought I was taking it. And I just have to bring the money back to you. And I was like, Michelle, I have to bring you back 50 cents. And she's like, you really don't have to. And I was like, I do. I have to, just please. And she's like, oh, it's okay. Just, it's fine. So, yeah, that was one. That was traumatic for me.
It was hilarious though.
Oh my god.
I felt bad for you, but at the same time, like, when she first told me this, I couldn't help but, like, burst out laughing. That, and it was like 1 in the morning when she told me this, and everything was funny after 12 o'clock. So.
Oh my god. Yeah, so that's what happened to me in 5th grade. Moving on to around 6th grade, that's when she came into the school. Oh yeah. So
this is her favorite story.
I'm about to zoom into my face for a sec. This little indent in my face. Guess how that got there? So, it was about lunchtime. Everything's happening around lunchtime.
Yeah, because we can't do anything during class. Like,
so, what you were singing the song the whole day.
Yeah, so there was this song that we used to all sing, but then it started getting like Gabby annoyed. So I would purposely sing it just to annoy her.
Yeah.
And I remember this one time I went to the bathroom and I was just washing my hands and I'm like, you know what?
And I'm just eating my lunch.
She's back at the table eating her lunch, and I was just like, you know what? I should skip back there and just sing the song. Like, just grab her and just sing the song. And she'll be like, oh, Crystal, you could, like, little Gabby would.
Yeah, so I'm eating, and all of a sudden, I just hear, like, some of the words of the song being sang behind me, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I just feel a nail dig into my face, and I was like, ah, and you were like, what? And I was like, your nail just dug into my face. And she was like, no. And I was like, yes, it did. And you were like, oh my god, girl. And I go to the bathroom, and I realize it's like this huge, like, mark on my face, and it starts bleeding and stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's probably gonna stay there forever. Oh my god, my face, ah! And
she was a crybaby right there. Like, if something like that happened to me, I'd just be like, well, this is how life is. But Gabby was like, the world's ending! Like, she was bawling, and everyone was just looking at me, and I'm like, girl, okay, I'll fix this for you. I'll give you, like, a tissue, something. Like,
oh, yeah, that fixed it.
Well, so, hello, you wipe off the blood, like.
I'm dead. It was kind of deep, so Mrs. T actually took me to the nurses, and she put like some alcohol on it, and I think I had to like wear a band-aid across my face for like the rest of the freaking day.
It wasn't even that serious, and that's how you leave a cut open, not closed. You're supposed to let it dry, you're supposed to like expose it to the air, not put a band-aid over it.
My parents were actually, like when I came home with the mark, they were like, what happened? I was like, oh no, you know, my friend Crystal, she put her nail. I did tell them that it was by accident, but obviously they were still pissed because there was a huge mark on my face.
Well, I get that, but like, damn.
Well, obviously you guys can't tell now. Like, I thought it was gonna leave a worse mark, but it was pretty good. But like when she first opened it, it wasn't beautiful. But you know what? It's okay because you're my best friend. That's always like I have a little mark of you on my face.
Here, give me your nail so I could just do it back.
That was the 6th grade story we just told. So now we're gonna move on to 7th grade. So, do you want to tell a story, or do you want me to tell a story?
Okay. So 7th grade, I remember we were sitting in Mrs. F's classroom, and I don't know what it was, but there was this one point in time where girls in the girls' bathroom, and even in the guys' bathroom, I've never been in the guys' bathroom, but I heard some of the boys saying that, you know, you wet tissue paper, you bunch it up in a ball, and you just smack it onto the ceiling. So I would walk into the bathroom, and I would see them, and I'm just like,
oh my god, they were everywhere. You just saw like
splats
all over the wall.
It was just gross. So the principal that we had at that time, I heard yelling during the class, and I was just like, I guess I'm bugging or something like that. And then I hear do, bam, 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 like at the door, and I'm just like, what's going on? And she comes barging into the room, and she's like,
I am fed up. Just fed up.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, what did we do? She's like,
people are wetting tissue paper, balling it up, and throwing it on the ceiling. What am I running, a barn?
and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, who is balling up tissues and throwing them on the ceiling? Because it's not us. It was definitely not me. I would never do something like that.
Probably kids in our class were doing it though.
I don't know who it was, but even everyone was just looking at her like, why is she in here yelling at us? Like, are you serious? And she was just like,
I'm fed up.
just like that too. I remember because I was ready to burst out
I
laughing.
have no clue. Like, I'm letting Crystal tell the story because I have no clue.
She really barged in. She was super red.
I think I was like absent that day or something. I don't remember that happening.
I don't know, but it was just really crazy. And then the funny part is she went to every classroom on that floor saying the same exact thing, the same way, with the same anger. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So she leaves our classroom, goes to the next one down the hall, bangs on the door again, and she starts off,
I am fed up.
but I hear it like in an echo-ish voice, and it was hilarious to me.
Oh my god. The story that I remember was when we were in 7th grade, our homeroom teacher ended up being Mrs. T.
Oh, she really
So
didn't like me.
I don't think she liked me either. Well,
No, she really had something out for me.
because she was our homeroom teacher, she taught 3 subjects. So she taught math, English, and history. So what she was gonna do, she told us that she was gonna go down the list alphabetically, and we would have to go up, and the first thing we'd have to do is get a math textbook from her shelf. So she went down the list, she reaches my name, and I am not paying attention. I'm just sitting in my seat like this. I'm hearing everyone else's name being called, and I'm just sitting there, and she finally reaches my name. She's like, Sierra, Gabrielle Sierra. Gabrielle. And I was like, oh. She's like, I'm sorry. And I get up and I go get a math textbook, and then she finishes the list. So then she starts over again, and she's like, okay, so when I call your name now, go get an English textbook. She goes down the list, she reaches my name, and she's like, Gabrielle. And I'm not paying attention, I'm just like still daydreaming, and then kids around me are like, Gabby. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. So I go up, I get my English textbook, and then I sit back down.
She was really
So
funny.
then we had to get our last textbook. She went, she started the list over again. She went all the way down, and
You would think at this time that she would actually pay attention. You know, it happened twice.
so yeah. So then we just had to get history books. She starts on the top of the list. She goes down. She reaches to my name, and she's like, Gabrielle. And then everyone in the classroom is like, Gabby. And I'm like,
The whole class had to yell out her name.
and I was like, oh. And I think I just see you looking, because Crystal and I got put into different tables. Like, we got put into groups of like 4 or 5.
I remember looking at her and I'm just like,
And I just see Crystal like across from me going, like,
but Mrs. T never yelled at her. She didn't even say
well, she was
anything.
yelling my name out.
But that's not like, she didn't say, oh, pay attention, nothing. But if it was me, God, if it was me.
I guess that ends 7th grade. So these next 2 stories happen in 8th grade. So I guess you can tell
Okay,
your story.
so basically, like, I'm starting off with this one because it's like my own story, and then like I want to end it off with the both of us telling a story. So at the end of 8th grade, you know, you have the 8th grade dance, whatever. And I was like, oh, you know, I'm with my friends, whatever. So I started taking pictures with everyone. And I'm just like, oh yeah, can I take a selfie with you? With this little iPod. It was like this big, like, I still have those pictures too. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, back then when you're in middle school, you have little crushes, whatever.
Yes.
So, shut up.
Oh my God.
Gabby.
No, I admit it.
So I had this little crush on a guy, and I went up to him and I was like, oh, can I take a selfie with you? And he was like, yeah, sure. So like he gets close to me, I'm just like, so I take the picture or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, thank you so much. And he goes like, yeah, no problem. So he walks away, and I was like, yes, right? But then like I turn around and I see one of his close friends like right behind me, and she's just looking at me like,
She watched the whole thing go down.
I guess she saw my whole little like celebration, and I'm just like, yes, the picture came out great, awesome. Like I tried to like play it off, and I was so embarrassed. Like I went right back into the dance, and I stuck by this girl the whole night.
Oh
So
my God, yeah, that was fun.
it was fun. I have like my 8th grade dress like over there. It was great.
Oh gosh.
It was fun.
Okay, so this last story happened at lunch. Again.
Again, because everything happened at lunch.
So we were sitting in a table. It was me, Crystal, Michelle, and our friend Christine.
So Christine.
Oh yeah, shout out to Christine.
Ooh.
So Michelle, she was a part of the basketball team, and she was just talking about, I guess, what was she talking about? I guess basketball practices and stuff.
She
like
was
that.
like, oh, I can make shots.
Oh yeah, she's like, we can make shots, and I was like, really, Michelle, can you?
I was like,
Because I've never really seen you play basketball before. And she's like, yes, I do. I make shots at practice, and I was like, yeah, okay. And
so I had like.
no, it was her sandwich.
It was her sandwich?
Yes, because why would she take it from your sandwich?
Well, I would have probably gave it to her, but yeah, it was from her sandwich.
Yeah, so she was eating a sandwich, and she takes a seed.
And I was like, if you throw it in her eye.
No, if you just...
No,
Wait, was
girl.
it throwing her at her eye? Or
Yeah.
she was just like, oh, shut up, and she just threw it at me?
No, like I said, try and aim for the eye.
Oh, really? I did not know this.
Yeah, but I didn't think you had glasses on, and I was like, she's
Oh yeah,
never gonna make
I had glasses on at the time.
I
so.
said, Michelle, if you can make shots, shoot for the eye. But I knew, I was like, she's not gonna make it because Gabby had glasses on.
And the seat is like...
The seat is this big, and Michelle was like on this side of the table.
Oh
Gabby's
yeah,
on
and
this
we
side.
were all sitting like in a big round table, so Michelle was actually sitting across from me, so it was like... It was pretty far.
It was Michelle, me, Christine, and Gabby.
Yeah.
So she takes the seed and she's like, I could make shots, and she goes like this. I swear.
So all of a sudden we're just watching her fling it at me, and then I just go. I was like, what the hell? And then they're like, Gabby, are you okay? And I'm just like, no, I think there's something in my eye. And I'm like, Crystal. And she looks at my eye.
Sure enough, the seed was right in her eye, like on the white part.
Because I just see Crystal go. The seed is actually one in your eye, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, no way. So I run to the bathroom and I look in the mirror. I was like, what the hell? And it took me like a good minute to get it out because it just kept moving around, and I was like, what the actual hell?
Oh my god.
And finally I took it out, and I was like, wow.
Like,
I was like,
she made
Michelle,
shots.
I can't believe you actually did that. And she's like, see, I told you I'm gonna make
That
it.
was all out of luck. There's no way that she was actually aiming precisely at the eye. There's no way. That was just a lucky shot.
Lucky shot, Michelle.
Shout out to Michelle and her lucky shot. So that was our
So
story
those are
time.
some stories. I hope you guys found that funny.
There were so many other stories, but it's like these were the ones that we wanted to share.
Yeah, so just let us know if you guys want us to tell more middle school stories, or just like
Stories in general.
stories in general. Like we can tell embarrassing stories, like embarrassing moments that we've had. So just let us know if you guys enjoyed this. I don't know, it was something you guys wanted, so stay tuned for our next video.
Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye.